Well, everything you talked about with the COVID-19 thing was very restrictive. It made people afraid, basically, afraid of each other, by the way. And Adolf Hitler said it best. He said, fear is how you control people. And fear makes people, again, bow before an emperor. And that's what we've seen here. And with, like you say, with the digital currency coming, and it is on its way, and things like that, the total surveillance that we're under right now, and everything we're doing. And I mean, even the big names have come out from the government and said it. We even know your pulse beat now. You have a phone, where you're moving, what you're talking, what you're saying, how you breathe, and everything. We're being exploited. They're selling the government sells our information to private corporations, and they work together. The key here is that we're in a system called corporatism. It came out of Italy under Benito Mussolini, the fascist, back in the 1930s, where they argued that corporations working with the government would provide the essence of control. And that's what we're seeing today. I mean, when you have Amazon, Microsoft managing the intelligence clouds for all 17 intelligence agencies and sharing their information, we're in a mess, folks. They know everything we're doing. They're reducing us basically to data bits. We're data bits. Now with this idea, and Biden administration's come out with it, is using artificial intelligence to detect disinformation. And basically what disinformation is, I disagree with the government. People are going to be deleted eventually, and that's coming. They're just going to disappear. You won't know where they're at. And so all that's moving forward at a tremendous speed. We're heading, Stephen Hawking, if people remember him, right before he died, he said he thought artificial intelligence was going to wipe out humanity. So we're up against something that if we don't get control of it pretty soon, and it's going to be very difficult to get control of it. But people are loving it. They're going to love it. And Aldous Huxley said that, the great writer who wrote Brave New World. He said people will love these things, these machinations and these things coming. They will worship them. And here's the key. The Fourth Amendment to our Constitution says we have a right to be secure in our papers, our homes, and our persons against unreasonable searches and seizures, which meant that a judge, if they're going to go in and look at what you're doing and follow you, they need a judge to look at the material and see if you're a criminal or an alleged criminal doing something criminal. But you don't do things criminal today to be watched and collected. We all have a file. And people don't realize this. The police now have an app on their phones called Shadow Dragon. They can get a complete set on who you are, what you're doing. And they can actually see through the walls now. They have devices that can look through the walls of your home and see you moving about your home, what you're doing, and stuff. We need to be protected against all this invasive surveillance. But the question is, and I've had a few people that work in the field, they say, John, it's going to be almost impossible. It's gone so far now, artificial intelligence, with facial recognition, with drones reading your face up now from 2 miles up in space and going over you, and them seeing through your homes. And most people don't realize this. Police now in some agencies, some areas have cloaking devices where they can park in front of your home in a cloaking device and you can't see their car. Things have moved really far. I mean, you can't trust the courts. So we have to fight in the courts. We have to get in there and hopefully get some judges that will think. Because a lot of judges are political appointees. They spend their whole life positioning themselves to be a judge. I've met them over and over and over. And I don't like that, by the way. So you can't trust the courts. No, the courts are not going to save us. The government is not going to save us. No, the government, like I said, the government we have today is so corrupt that, I mean, when you have listen, do we really have the president who runs the government today? Think about that for a second. If he has trouble completing the sentence, it goes back to this. We the people do ordain and establish this government. Who is the government? It's we the people. I keep emphasizing that. That's what the Constitution opens with. It ain't those people up there in D.C. who are sitting there just trying to make money. Entertainment's the key. George Orwell said it really well. I got his quote right here. I'll make sure I say it right. This is out of the book 1984. Eric Blair is his name. Is really brilliant. He said, football, beer, and above all, gambling filled up the horizon of their minds. To keep them in control was not difficult. I see people today glued to the television set whenever they're in a restaurant watching a football game. I see kids staring at their phones. That's controlled by the government, and Amazon, it works for the government. Start fighting against this digital currency, which again, once you move into that era, it's like the book of Revelation in the Bible says, the 666, you'll have a dot on your hand and your forehead, biochip, and that's coming too. I mean, I've talked to a few people working there. They say biochips are already starting, where you'll be totally controlled. And artificial intelligence is going to be speaking into your brain. Listen, we live in a dictatorship disguised as a democracy, as some people have called it, and I agree with that. And the author of Noam Chomsky, really good quote here. I want to make sure I got it right here. But he says, it's important to bear in mind that political campaigns are designed by the same people who sell toothpaste and cars. So everything is being run by the corporates, the corporations, in conjunction with the politicians. I mean, I guess the question would be, do you want to be someone who just rolls over and says, oh, okay, give me my beer and let's watch the Bills play? Or do you want to get up and say, listen, I want to do something right. I want to help humanity. And I keep telling people, I think the reason we're on this planet is to help one another. And if we're not doing that, we're wasting our time.